is God?
This is God.
So we're gonna to meet you. First of all, I have to share something with you. One of my friends used to trying to be Luke Skywalker when they were kids. I wanted to be Freddy Krueger. So yeah, I grew up with your movies. Big fan.
Well, I used to share. Well, not he wasn't really a roommate, but he was there to be considered a roommate. I used to share an apartment in the Hollywood Hills with Mark Hamill. So
Really?
so Luke Skywalker and Freddy Krueger do come together at some point somewhere in time.
Amazing. Okay, first question I want to ask you. Many fans ask you on the side, how you feel to be here in Australia and start meeting this intimate event with all your fans, because most of the people is here for you.
Well, the intimate event is new for me. I'm used to doing much larger events, and I like the intimate events. I was in Melbourne yesterday, and it was great talking to the fans in Melbourne, because they have a real deep knowledge of not only the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, but the other 70 movies that I've done in television. Yeah, and many, many movies that aren't even genre, which was exciting. In America, sometimes the fans have a very narrow vision and focus. They're not as wide in their embrace of other kinds of movies. And it was really fun yesterday talking to people that had seen my very first movie I'd ever done. I talked to at least a dozen people who remember seeing that, and that movie meant something to them as well as the Nightmare on Elm Street movies or V. So that's what I love about the intimate things. Also, there were some really serious collectors in Melbourne yesterday with action figures and photographs, some rare photographs that I hadn't seen before, it's always fun for me to see, especially foreign posters of my work.
Bon appetit, bitch. Filet de barbie. Open wide. Where are we?
What would you say is your favorite movie you ever worked, or your favorite project?
Well, I think that there's two. One is non-genre. One is a very early film I did in my career. I think it was my third or fourth film, a movie called Stay Hungry. And at that time in America, Bob Rafelson was a very significant director in the independent film scene. He'd done the famous film Five Easy Pieces, which introduced Jack Nicholson. This was part of this 1970s, early 70s renaissance. In films, all of the great independent films that were being made before Jaws sort of changed everything, and the blockbuster was invented. So that was a great experience. I worked with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was his first movie. Jeff Bridges, who just won the Oscar-winning Sally Field. Joanna Cassidy from Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Wonderful Joanna. And we were all living in the same old motel for 3 months. Deep in the South, and it was just this great experience. Scatman Carruthers was practically my roommate from The Shining, the Stanley Kubrick film. So that was a great experience. And then the reunion of the original cast of Nightmare on Elm Street when we did Wes Craven's New Nightmare, Part 7.
Part 7. That
was great because we were all kind of solvent and successful from the first film. Heather and I had done several of the Nightmare movies. John Saxon had a great renaissance in his career at that time. He had just done Electric Horseman with Robert Redford, and he was doing a Tarantino film, and it was just a great time for all of us to come back. We were still young, and for all of us to work together, and we loved Wes's take, his sort of deconstructed, fan-friendly film, the New Nightmare. And so those two movies, in terms of just showing up for work, I think were my favorite projects. But it's hard to separate sometimes the experience and the adventure of making a movie in Budapest or Sicily or Puerto Vallarta in Mexico or in St. Petersburg, Russia. That adventure, for an actor, is sometimes more fun than what the movie turns out to be, So it's kind of hard to separate the experience from the result.
Fantastic.
Hi, I'm Robert Englund, and I'm telling you to watch and listen to the Spotlight Report, or else.